Good morning, traders. So how do we trade the DAX today using Bill Williams? Now, there's a couple of significant things that I want to point out on the daily. And the first is, we spoke about this yesterday, we had a rejection off the 200 daily EMA, and then we had a hanging man. And that was always an indication that we were potentially looking for a downside move. Now, we've got a bit of a downside move, but now my question is, was this just a retest of the alligator? Okay, and for me, the teeth, which is the red line, is my yardstick. Okay, so pretty much anything where price, you'll see price breaks through and always comes back to test the red line. Is that what's happening on the daily? Okay, so you can see we've come back to test this breakout. So this breakout zone at 12,440 and 12,400, which is these tails here, we've come back into this zone, and that's where we currently are at the moment. Okay, so if I look at this on the daily, we have had a double bottom, and we are still trending to the upside. The critical aspect would obviously be a break of this pin bar, which is a break of the 200 moving average, would give us confidence that it's going to extend. Okay, so for now, jury's out whether we are looking to break the downside and come and test these lows again, or whether this is a break of the alligator and we're just testing the break for a move to the upside. Okay, so the other thing that we want to do is we had that as our original trend line, and basically what's happened now is we've broken that. Okay, so if I extend that to there and we take a line like that. Okay, so let's make it as exact as I can. So it's this tail here, and pretty much these tails as well, and these tails. So we do have a channel. Okay, this could be the test of the channel. Okay, so we do have a channel, or alternatively, we had a wedge break. Okay, so for it to be a wedge break, I'd like to see us come back and test this area and then fall off. But there is potential that this is a channel. Okay, so let's just get down. Just going to pick up an hour. So for me, on the DAX, it's pretty easy just to trade the alligator on the hour. So you can see here, we had a gap up and we had some selling, and then we had an inside bar. So there's a pretty good entry for a long, and you can see that long would have been fairly significant anyway. Okay, now we had 2 days of consolidation, and then yesterday we had a fall off, a retest, and a fall off again. So when it's violent like this, you never know what's happening, and it's much easier when the price is just trending ever so gently. But I mean, this is purely, the nonsense that Trump is causing. Okay, so this is all trade war fear. Now, very difficult to read, and I think for me, I'm really looking at just not even touching the DAX at the moment. There's just no direction. Okay, so if you are going to trade this, you need to watch. So the first level you need to watch is obviously where we close, which is 12,440, and the second one is 12,400. Okay, so those are the areas that you need to watch, and you can see my channel line here is not really effective. Just delete it, and let's put it back in. Running from there. So that was the first one, and you can see what we can argue is that was the first one we broke through and we've retested the break. So if we do that, that is a wedge. What I don't like about this wedge setup is there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, and I would prefer 5. Okay, so I know some people look at 3, so 1, 2, 3, because it's a triangle. Okay, but for me, I like to see 5 touches and a wedge for it to be confirmed. So it's not really a wedge for me. Could be, but it could also be a channel. So this is what I'll be watching for. Okay, now without making it too complicated, I think we have got a trend change. So we've had a range, and we've had a break of the range and a retest of the range. Okay, the range break target was hit. This gap was closed. So, jury's out whether we're going to rally to the top again or whether we are going to go sideways now. Are we going to do this kind of stuff? Okay, so this, yeah. So are we now just going to rally sideways? The key element here is this 200 moving average on the hour. So if we get below it and have an hour close below it and stay below it, then you can pretty much look for more downside. Okay, so if we get another day like yesterday, I don't know, you're probably going to be better off just getting down to like a 6 minute and trading the 6 minute time frame, because you're going to get lots of violent moves up and down. So that's one of the reasons why I'm saying I'm probably going to stay out of this. So I'm watching this zone with interest. So this 12,440 area I'm watching with interest. So if we do start getting some bullish price action here, it may well be worth a stab. For a long, you've got a 40 point, well, be around 60 point stop loss, but that is perfect. Okay, so again, there's no clear direction at the moment. So for me, it's going to be a case of waiting for that first hour and a half to see what happens, and then we'll take our trade based on price action. But me personally, I'm probably just going to be sitting on the sidelines for the DAX today. Okay, so breaks to the upside obviously are going to be, just take it off the 30. Okay, so there is the most logical. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on this downward trend line. So I would expect us, if we did rally, we'd come back into this area before selling off again. Okay, and you can see we do have a triangle starting to form. So if we just use this bottom channel line, you can see we've got a bit of a triangle. So let's just delete that and reevaluate like that. Okay, so we do have a bit of a triangle forming. Which direction are we going to go? It's anyone's guess. Okay, and that is hallmark of confusion. And I think what I want to do before we move on is let's just get a Bollinger, and let's get the Bollinger on the higher time frames firstly. Okay, you can see on the 4 hour how we are rejecting this 200 EMA on the 4 hour, and when we look at the 4 hour, there is definitely merit for more downside. Okay, and this is probably the level that we need to watch to break. This was the first test of the level, so we're looking for either a second test or a break of this level, or even a third test of this level. Okay, so for me, there's really nothing that's giving me much confidence that we're moving up or down. Okay, on the daily, you can see we've bounced off the 20 moving average on the daily here. Okay, so again, I'm not entirely convinced up or down at the moment. And let's just get down to lower time frame, and you can see nothing there either. Bollinger is flat, and the 12 minute we do have a Bollinger opening up here, which indicates more downside. Okay, as you can see, this was a squeeze, and now top Bollinger is kind of flat, bottom one is pointing down, so this is still in a fairly strong trend. In other words, it's like this. Okay, so yes, I think what we're looking for is really either some consolidation where we are and a bounce to the upside, or we are going to just consolidate the whole day. Okay, so I'm staying out of this today. So sorry, guys. There's nothing that I can see that's really going to excite me about an entry, long or short, at the moment. And I'm really not interested in this volatility. I'd rather get my trade in and just leave it for the day. And you can't do it when it's bouncing around like this. Okay, so yeah, so I think just watch this area. 12,440 is what you want to watch, and 12,400 is the other area you want to watch. So if price action tends to bounce around in this zone and find some support, then there would be merit for looking for a long. But for now, the trend is slightly down. So you're going to be looking for, I mean, if you're trading off the 12-minute, you want to, so long as we're below the alligator, you're looking for shorts. Okay. If we do cross above the alligator, you're going to start looking for longs. But just be very careful with that because we're below all these 200 moving averages at the moment. Okay, so that's kind of what I'll be looking at is just pay attention to this 12,440, 12,400 zone because that seems to be the area where buyers are stepping in. So it may find some positive price action here, and that's what I'll be looking for. That may give me an indication to go long. And positive price action would be something like this setup here, or a double bottom, or inside bars or tails, inside bars like this, like that, or an engulfing bar like this. So any sort of positive bullish price action in this zone or off this level here may be a perfect opportunity to look for a long, but whether it's going to be well, it won't be a long-term trade. So it's really going to be an intraday trade. So just be very careful with it. Anyway, guys, I know that's not going to help much today, but I think there's better opportunities on the US markets or on the Aussie than on the DAX at the moment. So anyway, guys, enjoy your day. Keep those stops tight, and I'll catch up with you guys next week. Cheers for now.